hear PC on this one, Judge.
Sure, of course.
Yes, Judge. The officer observed the defendant speaking to two other individuals and conducting a hand-to-hand transaction. The officer stopped his vehicle near the defendant, and when the defendant saw the officer, he started leaving on his bicycle. The officer began to follow the defendant, and the defendant actively avoided the officer by changing directions frequently. The officer stopped the car and told the defendant to stop. The defendant continued to flee until losing his balance on his bike, and the defendant stated he did try to flee because he had an active parole warrant. So
What was he doing wrong?
the officer observed what appeared to be a hand-to-hand narcotics transaction.
Okay. Was the other person doing it? Did he do it?
It was
Did they find any dope?
probably the county dope, but what they did observe was him on his bike and stopping with someone else.
And didn't even notify himself as police. You know, one of the conditions on an evading arrest is you have to notify that you're a police officer. You can't just yell stop.
All right, let me see the DIMs.
Sure.
I do have that the officer was riding in a marked patrol vehicle as he was following the defendant. So there is that, as well as
Does that imply?
My client was on a bicycle. He was riding a bike.
and that's when they were following him in the marked patrol vehicle while he was on his bicycle, and then yelling at him to stop.
Did they find any evidence of a narcotics transaction? They obviously didn't find him with any dope. Did they find him with like a large cash? And then let's look at the statute. What is your argument?
Well, my argument is that he was just riding his bike. In the DIMS, it does say, and I quote, I just lost it. The defendant looked at me and attempted to flee. I don't know how you attempt to flee.
Well, I guess just go the other way from him.
That's fleeing though.
And then it says in the DIMS as well that the officer observed the defendant look at the marked patrol vehicle and then change directions as he viewed.
You know how many people do that? You know how many people just look at a police car? I do it too.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's also riding,
Sure too.
he's riding a bicycle. He needs to pay attention to traffic.
And Your Honor, the only thing is that that took place after what appeared to be a hand-to-hand narcotics transaction. That's what the officer wrote in the DIMS.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. All right,
Yes,
no
Judge.
problem.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe